Hello, this video today is about just talking about after uh, my anniversary. You know, I told you about my 10-year anniversary. Just want to elaborate on more about business because I want you to understand that you are created for greatness. You have greatness within you. You have so much to give the world, and I want you to know that you have what it takes. And I want to give you some encouragement to give you some numbers and some figures of what you can do, the package business idea that you have, and put it into the marketplace. Okay. Now, I always talk about structure planning and those sorts of things. That's the only way that you're going to be successful because you got to come up with a plan. You got to come up with a strategy. You got to come up with ways you're going to be able to get to your end goal, to get to your destination. And with that being said, in business, being an entrepreneur, there are some, there's no secrets, but there are just some given steps that has to be taken in order for you to get there. It's nothing that you can have to pull your teeth out about. There's nothing that it's going to be overwhelming to you if you had the roadmap and if you had the blueprint to get there. And so I want to just talk to you about some things that you can do and just some things that you need to just keep in mind and let you know and keep you encouraged and let you know that hey, you got this, you can do it. Now whatever your idea is, whatever the goal is for you to accomplish anything in the business arena, you definitely have to be clear. You have to be clear on things that you want to happen. You have to be clear on your idea, who you're going to market to, how is that going to play out, whether it's going to be scheduled month to month, if it's a business, it's a seasonal business, whatever it is, whatever your model is, whatever your integrity in your business is, whatever the characteristic that your business have, all of these things must be laid out. And if you do this, you really will be on your road to success, and you will have more ease at you keeping that momentum and keeping things going like you should. Like I always say, you got to keep this. Sometimes that momentum can deplete, and sometimes it can be on fleet. So I just want you to keep that in mind. And then when you get to your marketing, that's the lifeblood of your business. That's going to always keep you in ahead of the curve, and it's going to always get you a return on your investment, and it's going to always give you some information, whether it's going to be you need to take a different approach with your marketing, but it's going to always give you some data. You're going to always get data with marketing, whether you want to focus on it or not. And when you are analyzing in a market with your marketing, you're going to get so much a wealth of information out of that too as well. And that is your key. And so these are things that has to happen in your business. So you can't, you won't be surprised, and you won't face the element of surprise in your business, because you've got to always be mindful of what's going on in your business every day. You got to visit, revisit, and do things that's going to move the needle. Like if you are employed right now, and if you ever been employed, your company is not going to think about their business 1 or 2 days and then forget about it the next day. Every day, you may not be in the department that does this, but every day they have a briefing. They go over the numbers, they go over forecasting, they go over current events, they go over things that if they have business partners, if they are on the stock market, if they have some other companies to answer to, they go over all of this on a day-to-day basis. And that's why you have management, upper level management. All of these people are doing that. And so when you start out in business, just think of yourself as, yes, you can think of yourself as the CEO, but you need to also think of yourself as that person that's going to manage this whole empire. You got a whole empire that you are over now, that you've been gifted with, that you can make into whatever you want to make it into. It's just that you have to get better And definitely get better with you every day. Get better with your personal development. You got to get better every day of the week. And that means learning new things. And if you are not good at it, hire a team or hire someone that has the skill set. There is a way that you can do that. There is a process to do that. Go to some of the job sites and hire people to do that. Get someone to do your job description. Put your job on the job board. And then also you need to, if you're not familiar with that, and if you don't know how to do that, hey, I'm here for it. That's my specialty. That's what I do. And so you can make it. You can do and accomplish those things. And then there's some little I would say there's some unique ways of having a team aboard, and if you're not going to pay them payroll, you're going to pay them by commission. There's ways that you can do that and get the ball rolling without having any funds available. Because if you're going to do commission only, then they're your employees, or they would have to do. They would have to do their best in order to be able to get paid. So that can relieve the pressure off you. Of course, you have to pay your payroll taxes and all those sorts of things. And it all depends on how you have everything structured and how you have it set up from a legal standpoint and from a business standpoint, because you got your federal taxes and your state taxes to be concerned with when you're in business as well. So that's that's a few things too that you need to be mindful of. And operate, having an operating plan, knowing where your business is going to be located, that's very important to you. Knowing the size and the capacity of what you're going to do. Are you going to own a building, or are you going to lease a building, or are you going to just work virtually? However you're going to do that. How many locations? Of what is your long-term vision? Are you going to expand later? And this is all after you've structured your business, because it makes it easier if you got the foundation first. You can't just start doing things and not have the foundation, because you're going to run into roadblocks. Because if you're leasing a building, they're going to ask you, where's your business plan? Where's your contract? Yeah, when you're leasing a physical location now, they want to see your business plan. Yeah, they really want to see it. Most of them ask you for it. And then also, a lot of times they want to know, what is, have you got your business, and what's your EIN number? All of those things, they really want to know that, because they're not gonna just take your word at, okay, yeah, I'm business such and such, and you haven't done the legal paperwork, because really they don't have a legal leg to stand on if you don't pay them, and they operating by the rules. And so that's why you have to give all of this information before you even get out here and get the opportunities, or you can even get a lease with a company, with a real estate company or whatever. So, and then how you're going to operate your business, and that's going to be very important on how successful it's going to be. How's your production is going to go? What is the process? You got to have manuals. You got to have agreements. All of this is a part of business. Yes. In case you didn't know it, yes, it is. Yeah, and so the supply and vendors, the supplies, who's going to be your vendors? Where are you going to get your supplies from if you have this type of business model that requires that? And then even your inventory, are you going to have inventory? What softwares are you going to use? See, so you need to plan this thing out. All of this is going to have a cost. And that's why when you're getting loans, when you're getting a grant, you have to have all this information given to them. If you're requesting funding from an organization or from a company, they want to know, do you actually know the cost? Have you written down the cost? This is so biblical, you guys. It just it's self-explanatory. It's so biblical, because the Bible even says, write the vision and make it plain that you can run with it. You can't run with anything that you hadn't planned out. What are y'all expecting? Business planning is very important. That's why I stay on business planning, because it is important. If you come to me and you're a person that don't even want me to write a business plan for you, I can tell that you're not serious. I can tell that you just want to touch, you just want a hobby, you just want to touch and play. And I don't know who want to be bothered with someone that don't want to get the things out. A lot of times people can come to you with ideas in their head, and they want you to paying it all out for them or whatever, but they can't really see the vision come to anything because they're really not willing to be patient with the process. That's another thing. You have to be patient with the process. If you're in a hurry for everything, you will get nothing. If you're in a hurry for everything, you will get nothing. And that is a law. That's just a physical law. That's a spiritual law. That's just the way it's going to happen. And so keep all of that in mind. Now, next thing, very important for you, financial planning. Nobody knows about the income statement, the balance sheet, or the cash flow statement. Those are things I don't know why it is with finances, it's with everything. I know it's money is emotional, finances is emotional. But if you're going to go far in life, and if you're going to go far in business, you must understand where you stand when it comes down to the financial aspect of your home, your personal life too, but definitely in business, because that can tell you how you need to move. That can tell you how things are going to cost in the future for you. That can tell you a whole lot of things. It can tell you, it can break down, your assets and your liabilities, and it can tell you what your gross profits are. Because if you're going to go outside of your business, more when you're getting a loan, that's going to have to be determined, and not for, say, if you get a government contract, they may not need to know your finances from that aspect, but you definitely will have to have your financial house in order to be able to get a contract, because a lot of times you may have to go and borrow the money because they may want you to do things up front, and then they have to pay you net 30, 60, or 90 days later. So you definitely will still in the scheme of things, you're still going to know you have to have your finances in order. And then that cash flow, your cash flow statement is going to be very important, because that's going to show your lender in the lending institution or whomever you're going to borrow. Maybe it's some venture capitalists, that you're going to be able to borrow money from, and they are going to have to see what's going on with your cash flow. Where is it flowing? What's going on with these operations? What's going on with everything in this business, so we can see, is this person going to be able to give us our money back, or are they really, really planning out to be successful? And that's the only thing. And I'm willing to bet you a lot of you would get funding that you didn't think you would get if you had just these three things in order. And if you really can show projections of where, if you don't have it there, okay, if they loan you this money, well, this is how I can get there, because I'm going to pay for this with the money you give me, and the return on my investment, I'm going to have that come back to me. Even with government contract, let's say, for instance, you may not have made the money yet, and you need the money from the bank to get the job done, and they say, okay, you're the one that's awarded the contract, and you can show them, okay, I'm going to get this so much back. I got to hire these people, but at the end, the government had already gave me, here's my letter. See, I'm going to get this money back. So the bank may be able to work with you better if you can show them how you actually thought it out. Because sometimes you did know that you can get awarded a contract, and then you can have nothing left, not even money to pay your employees, or not even money to pay yourself, or you can even be in the red. So planning out any endeavor when it comes to business, it's going to be that's going to be your superpower. That's going to be your winning strategy. So business planning, don't rule it out. Never rule it out. Okay. 90-day intensive is coming up. These are some of the things that's going to be talked about. These are some of the things that we're going to build. These are some of the things that's going to have you're going to be ready for. You will be above and beyond the next business that's just out here saying, I got to hustle. They can miss out on all the opportunities that you may be able to get, or you may be able to secure. So I'm going to stop right there. And the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about just what can go on for you being a success in business. We're going to talk about the resources, other resources that you can get, like business credit and the things of that nature. We're going to talk about that in the next video. So stay tuned, share this. And if you are interested in being in the 90-day intensive, which will be coming up, I haven't set the date yet for August, but it will be coming up in August. I want you to send me a DM or either comment below if you want more of the information, and I will definitely give you the information when we finalize the dates. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And remember, you are created for greatness. You have greatness within you. Only you can determine how far you go. You and God, on the only you, because it depends on your work ethic, it depends on your dedication, it depends on your desire and your you're wanting this. If you're not a person that don't want it, it is not for you, then it won't happen. Okay. Everything in life, I believe, is predicated on you taking action. Take action. Okay. All right. Bye bye. See y'all in the next video. Bye.